Tolazani, Imakusini, thank you for joining me for another video, guys. I hope you've been well. It's been a minute. Anyway, I just want to talk about the order of Melchizedek. You know, guys, when you actually look at it, this whole book, like the scriptures, I hope people are seeing that the Bantus are a supernatural people. You know, Credo Muto said something about the name in which the Zulus have named themselves, Amazulu, Zulu, the Zulu nation. He said, it's not because the name is not taken from because the Zulus refer to themselves as the heavenly people. It's because the word Zulu means not heaven, but dimensions. Understand? So they were referring to um, multiple dimensions. So the Zulus were a people that knew that they could um, interact with different dimensions. We were a spiritual people. We are a spiritual people in soul, you know, like yo, the beauty that is within the Bantu people is too amazing for words. Yeah, so I want to just talk out and break down Shem and the order of Melchizedek. Shem is Melchizedek, and so Shem had, well, let me put it like this: the order of Melchizedek is threefold. He was a king, king of Salem. He was a priest, a high priest, and he was a prophet. He had a prophetic office. That is the order of Melchizedek. You understand? He had the kingship to judge the nations. He was a priest to deal with things pertaining to God and sacrifices for sins and offerings. And he had a prophetic office as a messenger between spirit and the people, you know. So as Isangoma, when you have that order upon your life, and so you know that saying is so true. With great power comes great responsibility. So you're not just like a freelancer or an entrepreneur. You are literally an employee of God when you are in this order. Okay. So over and over, it refers to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, excuse me, having having gone to the house of Shem and Eber to learn the instructions of the Lord. I just want to I just want to read there. I didn't reference them properly, guys. Please excuse me, but I think it should be in the book of Jasher. And it says from Jasher 9, verse 5. And when Abram came out of the cave, he went to Noah and his son Shem, and he remained with them to learn the instruction of the Lord and his ways. And no man knew where Abram was, and Abram served Noah and Shem, his son, for a long time. Verse 6 goes on. And Abram was in Noah's house 39 years. And Abram knew the Lord from 3 years old, and he went in the ways of the Lord until the day of his death, as Noah and his son Shem had taught him. Okay, so we go kwa Shem as an initiate. You go to Shem's place to learn the ways and the instructions of the Lord, of God. Okay, so you learn literally the way in which the spiritual realm works. Basically, you learning the way in which the kingdom of God functions. It is spirit. Can you see? So besides learning the ways and his instructions, it goes on. Let me carry on. Here it says, and when the days of their mourning had passed, Abraham sent away his son Isaac, and he went to the house of Shem and Eber to learn the ways of the Lord and his instructions. And Abraham remained there 3 years. Verse 18, and at that time Isaac sent his younger son Jacob to the house of Shem and Eber, and he learned the instructions of the Lord. And Jacob remained in the house of Shem and Eber for 32 years. And Esau his brother did not go, for he was not willing to go, and he remained in his father's house in the land of Canaan. Okay, so Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, they all went to the house of Shem and Eber to learn the instructions of the Lord, to learn how the kingdom of God functions. You understand? How to get things done. In the other video, in the video of the first house of Shem video I'd uploaded, I read that mm, yes, I read that I read from Jubilees, the book of Jubilees, chapter 10. I'll read again. And we explained to Noah all the medicines of their diseases, together with their seductions, and how he might heal them with the herbs of the earth. And Noah wrote down all the things in a book, as we had instructed him concerning every kind of medicine. Thus evil spirits were precluded from hurting the sons of Noah. And he gave all that he had written to Shem and his oldest son. And oh, for he loved him exceedingly above all his sons. So at the house of Shem, if you are a Sangoma and you go to the house of Shem, to Yokobela, because Shem literally, the meaning like him having Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob means that Shem and Eber were Kobelas, meaning that there were spiritual trainers, meaning that they had schools. And that's why you would go Uyotwasa. Okay. Meaning to go and initiate. All right. Shem had a book was given. They were angels had taught Shem and taught Noah how to use the herbs of the earth to prevent evil spirits from interfering with them. So when you are initiate, you go and you acquire such a book. So the book I have is knowledge passed down from the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. If you are a Sangoma, if you are a House of Shem, you will have a book full of medicines, okay, of how to heal people. This is straight up herbs. This is straight up herbs. All of this whole book. In order for you to help people, in order for you to, for the Bantu people to be above the influences of evil spirits. Isn't that beautiful? It's beautiful. So this practice is passed down from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, to his 12 sons. The order of Melchizedek, him being a king, the king of Salem, being a priest, a high priest, being a prophet. Okay, those the whole order was passed down, obviously, to the king to Jacob's 12 sons, and from then onwards, the rest of us. All right, even that knowledge, that ancestral knowledge, is passed down from them to us, Emakos. You see, it's such a beautiful thing. Like, it's so beautiful. I don't know if you guys are catching me, you know. So at the house of Shem and Eber, you literally go as an initiate, you go connect. I think I mentioned it in one of those videos that I done about life is spiritual. You go connect with the spirits of which God had created the world with, you know, the spirits of the water, the spirits of the earth. You co-connect because those are the things that have produced everything that we see. In order for you to have power, in order to heal your people, you understand? So as Isangoma Vele, you are a king. You know, we come from royalty. You know, yes, the Bantus, we are a royal priesthood in general. But as someone who is a spiritual worker, as an ancestral worker, you rise in the spirit, you become like royalty. You have the priesthood because you are in charge of things pertaining to God for people, on behalf of people, and for yourself. You are a prophet because you have message. You are a messenger. You are sent one. You get messages from the spirit realm. This gift has been passed on to all the kids of Jacob. This is our heritage. And so as a Bantu person, even if you're not called to be a prophet, or not, ancestral calling, you ought to still be able to have messages from God. He said, in the last days, I will pour out my spirit. People will be dreaming, seeing visions. You understand? So as a Bantu person today, you ought to be dreaming and remembering your dreams. Like your spiritual guides, whether it's even the Spirit of God that is revealing to you something, you ought to be able to get those messages, whether it's by visions or whether it's by dreams. We ought to dream. Stipulate, it's said. We are a chosen nation, a royal priesthood, a peculiar people. What does it say here in Exodus 19, verse 5? Now, therefore, if you obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then you shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for the whole earth is mine. So we need to return. We need to return to that 10 commandments, but the 10 commandments, we will find them. We will complete them once we acknowledge our ancestors, the ones that we walk with us. If the Messiah did it, who are you to not do it? There's a gap. This is how they conquered us. They destroyed our relationship with our prophets and gained mastery over us. They found out when they came to colonize us, they searched and researched, where is the power of the black person? And they said the black person is at the altar with their ancestors. And they said, okay, yeah, witchcraft act, demons. They are demons, and anyone who works with ancestors is a demon worker. And yet here in the book, in the book, here in the book, Here's the Messiah speaking to his ancestors. We have lost power. We are being killed. Huh? We are supernatural people, and yet we die like mere men because we walk not in the teachings of our forefathers. We do not know. Even I was thinking the other day, like I was really thinking the other day, that the history actually that we are being taught is more like a witchcraft, because it's like puts you to sleep, it leads you astray into darkness. It doesn't reveal truth. And for the Bantu, it doesn't reveal the truth so that you can come to your power. So I encourage you all to reconnect with your ancestors. Pray to God first to open the way, and then seek ways. But we will discuss how to connect with ancestors. But I want you guys to see that we are a supernatural people. I want to show you also, okay, this is like herbs and a mixture of like 18 plants, all of this, okay, just to demonstrate the passage that I read in Jubilees. Okay, this is called Inteles. All right, this is a mixture of 18 herbs that I've put together. This expels evil spirits. Okay, it's the power of the Bantu. I can't tell you what I put. Too many ears, the wrong ears listening. And then I have, let's see how I can do this. Okay, give me a second. Yeah. So, some ancestors don't agree with your plant-based medicines. So, they would use like salts and ashes, like ash, holy ash, and so forth. All right. This also expels evil spirits, among other things. And I use these too, because people won't believe the amount of witchcraft that is happening out there. It's unbelievable. People have the nerve. But just to prove to you, we are the people, and the order of Melchizedek is with the Bantus. It's just time that we reclaim our history, reclaim the books, reclaim the scriptures, and put them in context to empower us as a people, Okay, I just want to read here. But ye are come unto Mount Zion, the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to an innumerable company of angels, to the general assembly and the church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect, and to Jesus, the mediator of the new covenant, and the sprinkling of the blood that speaketh better things. My point here is, which to the general assembly of the church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect. It's time we connect with the just men made perfect, because the kingdom of God is this, the assembly of just men the assembly of God, who is the judge. We are all such a beautiful people, a peculiar people, a royal priesthood. So Bantus, this is a call to return to your culture, return to who you are originally, the way that God had made you to be. You're not a Hebrew, you're not an Israelite, you're not a black person. Umuntu ngabantu ebantwini, umuntu kaNkulunkulu, umntana kaNkulunkulu, you're God's child, chosen to show forth the praises of him that called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. So rise, Bantus, to who you are. You know, I just want to also read before I go. I just have a message for those hesitant, those in diaspora. Jeremiah 31, verse 15 to 17. It reads as follows. Thus saith the Lord, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation and bitter weeping. Rahel, weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children, because they were not. Thus saith the Lord, refrain thy voice from weeping, and thine eyes from tears, for thy work shall be rewarded, saith the Lord, and they shall come again from the land of the enemy. And there is hope in the end, saith the Lord, that thy children shall come again to their own borders. There is hope. We will come again to our own borders, meaning there is hope that the land will return to the rightful owners. But we need to walk in the light. We need to walk in the light. We need to do as the Messiah has done. We need to walk. There's no two-way about it. It's either you listen to the voice of the enemy or you listen to the book of your ancestors. But anyway, it's been real. Guys, I hope you are well. Keep well, guys. Thank you for joining me for this video, and like and subscribe if it's interesting for you. Take care.